table song, Gregory Isakov, and we're in the key of C for this one, capoed at fret 2. Well, capoed at fret 2, playing chord shapes in the key of C, technically in the key of D. And we're going to start on an F major 7 chord, bar 1. Now the best way to break this one down is not, I think, bar by bar going through all the downs and ups here. Let's talk about the principle of how you want to play this, and then I will show you some of the little things that he adds in as he does this himself. The key is the right hand movement. It's coming tightly from the wrist as we strum here, strumming generally around the middle of the chord. So to get the feel of it, just set up this down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up type of pattern from the wrist, strumming gently in the middle of the chord. That's the feel you want to get through the song. So establish that feel. That's much more important than thinking about whether you're playing downs or ups. It's just to establish that right hand movement. Then you can sometimes miss the occasional strum as long as the right hand keeps moving. Now one thing he does a lot in this song is hammer on, and whenever he's in an F major 7 chord, as he does here, he hammers the 3rd string open to 2nd fret. So here we're playing hammer, hammer on 1, 2, 3, 4. On 1 and 3 he's hammering. Now the other thing he does, which he then does in bar 2, is he occasionally flicks, on the up strum, flicks the top string. So he continues here, up, down, and I'll say flick when I mean hit the top string. So hammer, hammer, up, down, flick. To a C chord, whenever he plays a C chord and he wants to hammer, which he does a lot, it's the 4th string open to 2nd fret. So he's hammering here on the 1 beat. 1. Then the G chord that he uses in this song is an unusual one. He keeps the 1st string in place on the 2nd string 1st fret, and then he plays 5th string at 2, 6th string at 3 around that. Technically you've got a chord that would have to be G6 sus4, but he's just thinking of it as a variation on G. And again, what he'll often do, as he did with the C chord, for example, when we did the hammer on, we're kind of hitting the low end of the chord before strumming around, more around the middle. Here the low end of the chord is sort of around string 6 and 5. Standard strum pattern. So bass, down, bass on 1 and 3. So those are the first 4 bars. F major 7, flick, C, G. I'll just say G for convenience sake for that chord. Now F major 7 again for 2 bars, again hammering in the first bar twice. It's difficult to know how much to really go into the detail of precisely what he plays here, because he wouldn't play it the same way twice. But if you really like to do that, in the second of those 2 F major 7 bars, he's actually hitting the 4th string. 4 up, down, up, 4 up, down, up. So hammer, hammer, 4, 4. C starts with the hammer. Actually, he goes hammer, down, flick. G chord, where he starts bass up down, bass up down flick, and then he actually picks the 5th string and hammers it. Once we get into the main accompaniment of the song underneath the vocal, it's not as complicated as this with the different hammers and flicks and things. This is the intro, so I'm tending to show you more note for note what he's doing here, so you can get that feel. It's not this complicated once we get into the main song. So everything in this, we're at the end of bar 8 here, everything in this song is in 4 beats to the bar. So those bars from 5 to 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The hammer on is on 3. And the final line of the intro from bar 9. we're hammering the C to start bar 9, and so it's going hammer, down, flick, up, down, up, and into bar 10, simple, just all the strums, C major 7 to F major 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, C major, just C to F major 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. The C at bar 11 is the same as bar 9, in other words, hammer, down, flick, up, down, up, and we'll finish just by a standard strum of C, bass up, down, bass up, down, up. So I'm going to play that whole intro again slowly here.